You've probably never heard of the Tucker 48, and that's exactly the point. This was not just a car. It was a revolutionary vision that dared to challenge the might of the American auto industry. In the aftermath of World War II, imagine a time when Detroit was king, and the Big Three Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler dominated every aspect of automotive production. In this landscape, a bold, fearless man named Preston Tucker appeared, determined to change everything. Tucker wasn't a conventional engineer or businessman. He was an innovator, a dreamer, someone who saw the future of transportation in ways that others couldn't even imagine. From the very beginning, the Tucker 48 was designed to be unlike anything the world had seen. It was a car built for safety, performance, and aesthetics, combined in a way that was decades ahead of its time. The story begins in 1945, just as the United States was transitioning from wartime production back to consumer goods. Tucker had already made a name for himself as a visionary. Having dabbled in aircraft engineering and automotive inventions, he envisioned a car that would be safe for families, thrilling for drivers, and entirely new in design. The Tucker 48 would feature a rear engine, a futuristic Cyclops, I-third headlight that turned with the steering wheel, and a crash-protected cabin with a padded dashboard features that were almost unheard of at the time. But these were not mere gimmicks. Every detail of the car represented Tucker's commitment to safety, efficiency, and People who saw the prototype described it as magical, almost otherworldly, as if it had traveled forward in time from an era yet to come. Yet, for all its brilliance, the road to success was treacherous. The Big Three viewed Tucker not as a competitor, but as a threat to the very foundation of their empire. They controlled suppliers, dealers, and even the press. Tucker faced enormous pressure to conform, and when he refused, powerful forces began plotting against him. Factories were scrutinized, investors were pressured, and lawsuits were filed with astonishing speed. The media, influenced by industrial interests, began painting Tucker as reckless, a charlatan with impossible dreams. But Tucker was nothing if not resilient. Despite constant legal battles and financial strain, he pressed forward, assembling a team of engineers, designers, and mechanics who shared his vision. Every component of the Tucker 48 told a story of ambition and defiance. The car's engine, designed in collaboration with aviation experts, offered performance that rivaled sports cars decades later. The suspension system was revolutionary, promising a smooth, safe ride even on the roughest roads. Tucker's team even experimented with innovative manufacturing techniques, aiming to produce a car that was as reliable as it was beautiful. The design itself was a masterpiece, with sleek lines, aerodynamic curves, and an aggressive yet elegant stance that turned heads wherever it appeared. Showrooms were dazzled, and early press reports, once freed from industrial influence, praised the Tucker 48 as the car of the future. But the challenges were relentless. Tucker had only a fraction of the capital that his competitors enjoyed. Factories were built on a shoestring budget, and every day brought new obstacles. Vendors hesitated to supply parts, fearing retaliation from the Big Three. Even the government, while not overtly hostile, was slow to approve necessary certifications, adding months of delay to an already ambitious schedule. And yet, every setback only strengthened Tucker's resolve. He was driven not by profit alone, but by the idea of changing the automotive landscape forever. As word of the Tucker 48 spread, excitement among the public began to grow. Potential buyers were enchanted by the promise of a car that was not only beautiful and fast, but revolutionary in safety and engineering. Thousands of advance orders were placed, and yet many people had no idea of the monumental obstacles standing in the way. Investors, dealers, and journalists all watched with a mixture of awe and skepticism. Could one man and a small team really take on the giants of Detroit and succeed? The answer seemed uncertain, but the legend was already beginning to form. Preston Tucker's story is inseparable from the story of the car itself. He was a man of charisma, vision, and tenacity, often seen working alongside his engineers late into the night, inspecting prototypes and personally driving test vehicles to understand every detail of their performance. Friends and colleagues Recall a man who was both inspiring and infuriating, endlessly pushing boundaries, refusing to compromise, and believing in a dream that few could comprehend. The Tucker 48 was not just a machine. It was a manifestation of that dream, a symbol of rebellion against complacency, and a challenge to the status quo. As the first prototypes rolled off the production line, the world began to take notice. Motor shows were filled with spectators. Journalists were eager to report on what they called the car of the future, and early drivers were astonished by the engineering feats packed into every inch of the vehicle. The rear engine offered better balance and handling. The safety features promised protection like never before, and the overall design exuded confidence, elegance, and innovation. For those who experienced it firsthand, the Tucker 48 was more than a car. It was a glimpse into what the automotive world could have been if audacity and imagination had been allowed to triumph. Yet, as excitement grew, so did the forces arrayed against Tucker. Rumors, legal challenges, and negative press created an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. Competitors, feeling threatened by the revolutionary design and the growing public interest, lobbied for investigations and spread doubts about the feasibility of Tucker's ambitions. Factories struggled to meet production deadlines, and cash flow became a constant concern. Investors grew nervous, and the dream of bringing the Tucker 48 to every showroom in America teetered on the edge of collapse. Despite the mounting obstacles, Tucker refused to give in. He continued to innovate, to inspire, and to believe in the impossible. Every setback was met with determination. Every obstacle was transformed into a lesson or a new opportunity. The people who worked alongside him recall long nights filled with problems, camaraderie, and a shared sense of purpose. They knew they were part of something historic, something that transcended mere automotive design. The Tucker 48 was not just a car. It was a statement, a rebellion, and a dream realized against impossible odds. By the time the first production models were nearly ready, the Tucker 48 had already achieved something few cars ever do. It had captured the imagination of the public, the press, and even skeptics within the industry. People marveled at the audacity of a single man taking on the giants, of a car that dared to defy expectations, and of a team that refused to be intimidated. And yet, despite all the promise, the story was far from over. The true drama of the Tucker 48's battles, triumphs, and ultimate fate was about to unfold in ways that no one could have predicted. And so, as we look back at this remarkable chapter in automotive history, we see more than just a car. We see courage, innovation, and their relentless pursuit of a dream. We see a story that challenges conventions and inspires imagination, and we are left wondering, what could have been if the world had embraced the Tucker 48 fully? What doors could it have opened? And what legends might it have created? The answers are as thrilling as the car itself, and they are waiting to be discovered in the next chapter of this incredible journey. As the saga of the Tucker 48 continued, the stakes only grew higher. Preston Tucker had poured his heart, soul, and personal fortune into creating a car that could redefine the automotive world. Yet, despite the brilliance of the design and the excitement it generated, the forces aligned against him were relentless. Lawsuits piled up, investigators scrutinized every aspect of the company, and the media, often swayed by the powerful Big Three, painted Tucker as a reckless dreamer with dangerous ideas. But Tucker remained undeterred, moving forward with a sense of purpose that few could comprehend. Every prototype, every test drive, every meticulously crafted component was a testament to his unwavering belief that innovation and courage could challenge convention. That Tucker 48 was more than just a vehicle. It was a symbol of audacity. Its advanced features were unlike anything else on the market. The rear-mounted engine offered stability and handling that put it years ahead of competitors. The safety innovations, including a pop-out windshield and a reinforced passenger cabin, were concepts decades ahead of their time. The turning third headlight, responding to the angle of the steering wheel, was a futuristic touch that mesmerized observers and symbolized the car's forward-thinking spirit. Each detail reflected Tucker's commitment to creating not just a car, but an experience that combined beauty, performance, and safety in ways that were revolutionary. Despite the innovation, the Tucker 48 faced immense practical challenges. Manufacturing a completely new car with entirely novel systems on a limited budget in an industry dominated by giants was no small feat. Factories had to be rebuilt or adapted, parts had to be specially fabricated, and every test was an expensive gamble. Tucker's team worked tirelessly, often sleeping in the shop, testing each car under extreme conditions to ensure reliability. The dedication of this small group of engineers and workers cannot be overstated. They believed in the dream, even when external pressures seemed insurmountable. The human story behind the Tucker 48 is as compelling as the machine itself, a tale of ingenuity, loyalty, and relentless determination. By late 1948, the first few production models of the Tucker 48 were complex. Early drivers marveled at the experience, a smooth, high-G, innovative safety features that made them feel secure, and a design so elegant it seemed to defy contemporary expectations. Stories circulated of people who took their first drive and felt as if they had entered the future. But as word spread, the scrutiny intensified. Regulatory bodies questioned design elements, investors demanded answers, and skeptics grew louder. Tucker faced a difficult balancing act, maintaining his vision while trying to satisfy a system that was rigged against small innovators. Every day was a battle, not just for survival, but for the very dream he had envisioned. Then came the turning point. In the midst of production, a series of investigations, partly fueled by misinformation and industrial lobbying, threatened to end the Tucker 48 before it could make its mark. Factory inspections, court appearances, and negative headlines consumed the company's time and resources. Preston Tucker himself became a public figure, defending his work, explaining his vision, and fighting to maintain confidence among his team and the public. The tension was palpable. Could one man truly challenge the established giants and emerge victorious? Or would the Tucker 48 vanish, remembered only as a brilliant idea that never had a chance? Despite the legal battles and financial hurdles, Tucker never lost sight of the car's purpose. The team continued to refine the remaining production vehicles, ensuring that each one met the standards set by Tucker's original vision. Every detail, from the engine performance to the interior comfort, was scrutinized and perfected. The cars that emerged from this tumultuous period were more than just machines. They were statements of courage, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of a dream. Those who experienced the Tucker 48 firsthand spoke of a vehicle that was not only advanced and exciting, but also infused with a spirit of defiance and hope. Although only 51 cars were ultimately produced, the impact of the Tucker 48 cannot be measured by numbers alone. Each car became a piece of automotive history, a symbol of what can happen when visionaries refuse to accept limitations. Collectors and enthusiasts today recognize the Tucker 48 as a rare treasure, a testament to ingenuity, and a reminder of the struggles faced by those who dared to dream differently. The story of the Tucker 48 serves as an inspiration, showing that innovation often comes at great personal cost and requires the courage to challenge even the most entrenched systems. The legacy of the Tucker 48 extends far beyond its production numbers. In design, engineering, and spirit, it influenced a generation of automotive thinkers. Concepts like advanced safety features, innovative engine placement, and aerodynamic styling would later appear in mainstream cars, proving that Tucker's ideas were not just ahead of their time, they were prophetic. Historians and automotive experts often cite the Tucker 48 as one of the most visionary cars ever created, a vehicle that dared to push the boundaries of what was possible and inspired future innovation despite the obstacles it faced. What makes the Tucker 48 truly remarkable is not just the engineering, nor the beauty of its lines, but the story of human ambition, creativity, and resilience behind it. Preston Tucker, along with his small but dedicated team, demonstrated that one person with vision, courage, and tenacity could challenge giants and leave an indelible mark on history. The Tucker 48 is more than a car. It is a story of hope, defiance, and the relentless pursuit of innovation against impossible odds. As we reflect on the Tucker 48 today, We see more than a car. We see a lesson in persistence, imagination, and the importance of daring to dream big. Modern engineers, designers, and automotive enthusiasts continue to draw inspiration from Tucker's vision, proving that innovation is not just about technology, but about the courage to challenge the world as it is. The Tucker 48 reminds us that even when faced with overwhelming opposition, a bold idea can leave a legacy that echoes through time. And so, the legend of the Tucker 48 lives on. Each surviving vehicle is a treasure. Each story a testament to human ingenuity, and each innovation a glimpse into what might have been if the world had embraced audacity without fear. From its revolutionary design to the battles fought in courtrooms and boardrooms, the Tucker 48 remains a symbol of possibility, courage, and the enduring power of vision. For those who appreciate not just cars, but stories of innovation, resilience, and the triumph of creativity. The Tucker 48 is more than history, it is inspiration. If you've enjoyed discovering the incredible journey of the Tucker 48, imagine what other automotive legends await. Cars that defied expectations, innovators who challenged entire industries, and machines that changed the way we think about design, speed, and safety. Don't miss out on these stories. Subscribe to Driven Stories and join us as we explore the hidden histories, forgotten masterpieces, and revolutionary vehicles that almost disappeared from the world. Hit the bell icon. Stay on this journey with us and witness the amazing stories of cars that were more than just machines. They were dreams made real.